Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year to you all. I hope that you all enjoyed your new year. I hope that this year brings you all those things that that you've asked God for. Um, it's just a new year, and in my meditation and in my prayer, especially as it relates to coming into a new year, you know, um, I had been feeling in my spirit that 2023 was the year of reaping what you sow, right? Um, and God bringing those things to fruition. That's why I was saying, even in 2022, sow good seeds, because the seeds that you sow, you're gonna reap just what you sow. So practice sowing good seeds. And so, I was on, of course, I haven't been on social media a whole lot within the last few days, because y'all know my caseload has picked up. And even on New Year's Eve, I was out working. But hey, that's prophecy right there. I can't complain about that, because that's just God bringing to fruition whatever it was that I had prayed and put into the atmosphere, right? um so I won't complain about that at all, even though it sucked being out working on New Year's Eve. Hey, it was a blessing to be doing it right. And so I've been able to get on social media, and um I was looking at, I went over to Instagram, and, I haven't said, like I said, I haven't been on here. And as you know, we're going into the second year that young Dolph was assassinated. And I think it's unfortunate that young Dolph's children has to, just like so many other young men that was heinously gunned down, has lost their life. And they're going into, they was, especially if they were involved, they were family men, and they were actively involved in their children's lives, and they have to go into another year without him. And then when each and every time a new year comes in, they come to the realization that that they're not going to get to bring another new year in with their loved ones. And I'm sure each and every holiday, each and every new year, because when they assassinated him in 2021, it was close. It was in November, so it was close to a new year. So his family did not get to spend Thanksgiving with him. They didn't get to spend Christmas, and they had to go into 2022 without him, and of course 2023 and every other year they're going to have to go in without him. And so as all of these arrests happen, we see what they have so far. And of course we know that they're not done, right? We know that they're not done. And we think about young Dolph and the relationship that young Dolph had with some of CMG members, which is Yo Gotti and his crew. And we saw how, at some point it took a turn for the worse, and they started going backwards and forwards and things of that nature, which was kind of sad in the beginning, because, these are, and people thought that they would patch that up, because these are Memphis bread, right? Memphis bread. And people just thought that they would be able to patch that up and, hey, make good music and make money. But at some point, it started getting really it got worse. Even with it getting worse, they was putting it on wax. Nobody was supposed to die. And so it seems that there had been issues with Yo Gotti. It seems that him and his people got so emotional that it allegedly, in 2017, they couldn't handle it no more. Although Yo Gotti comes from an era where people always kept everything on wax. Okay. They always kept it on wax. Even when Jay-Z and 50 Cent was going at each other, each and every time they wanted to sell an album, they put it on wax. And like I said, even with the history of rap, people just wanted to know who was going to have the biggest comeback. So, of course, they would start dissing around rap around the time, that they would kick up beefs, whether they was fake or not, around the album dropping time, because that is how they sold albums. But at some point, and for some reason, some of these rappers have gotten so emotional and unstable that they feel like nobody is supposed to talk about them. Okay. They can't go back in the booth, and they can't use that as motivation to go in the booth and make better music. They feel like they're supposed to go and hire unfortunate young dudes that's starving to go out and take a human life as if they are God. Now, the history of Yo Gotti in Memphis. Memphis supported Yo Gotti, but anyways, they supported him. But I want to go into, somebody had asked me. They was like, "Well, have you seen the pictures of Yo Gotti and Angela?" And I said no, but I figured that they were dating because people said that they were dating. And hey, I don't have no issues that people in love. They, if it's real love, hey, I'm all for anybody. I don't give a damn about nobody's relationship but mine. Okay, other than mine. Okay, but you know, the reason I'm going to this is because there's a point in this, and don't get this twisted, because I ain't hating on nobody's relationship. Shout out to Angela. I'm sure Yo Gotti giving her everything she want. She was his dream girl, and at some point she decided to give him a chance, right? That happens. Okay. So this is what I want to play. I want y'all to hear this. You made it. That's fine. Look at that. Happy New Year. It's Sarsky. Yeah, Jack. 2023, son. We out here. I don't want to hear no complaints this year, man. Get you some money. Some money, Clay. Quit complaining. Oh, man. Keep hustling. You know what I mean? It's out here. Niggas possible. And we on that Louis 13 and the Ace Spade. At first I didn't know if that was him or Jay-Z, because now he's starting to sound like Jay-Z. But that's his protege. Hell, I didn't know. I could hear Angela, but because I was like, is that Yo Gotti's voice, or is that Jay-Z? Hell, because they sound so much alike. Now he don't even sound like a damn Memphian. But which is cool. Ain't nobody got no problem with that. Because a lot of people have always said that Yo Gotti never really, he always had this disdain about Memphis and Memphians, although Memphis was the city that supported him before he was even seen on the outside of Memphis. But anyways, I digress. But the reason I went to that video is because he started talking about, get your money up, stop hating, it's out here, get some money. And he says all that, and he has been, each and every time you talk about young Dolph, his name comes up. Young Dolph was getting money. Young Dolph was getting plenty of money. Young Dolph was out there popping bottles and stuff. He was doing it just like that, or bigger. And he was doing it independently. He was just as flashy too. Young Dolph was doing it. But for him to say, get your money up, your money is out here, get your money. But when these young dudes, go independent and they start trying to get their money up and stuff, it seems like, they end up dead like Young Dolph. Okay. So I mean, I think that statement right there kind of bothered me, because Young Dolph was getting his money. He had his money up. And so I thought about that as he was talking about 2023, and God put some stuff in my spirit about Yo Gotti. And it led me to do this video that God says, when I get them back, and this is my favorite saying, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. And so I get to thinking about, with Yo Gotti is not out of the clear. I believe very well if anybody in his camp had anything to do with Young Dolph's assassination, and I would say if allegedly, I don't know, if they did, I believe that it came from the very top, and the very top would be him, because that's where the money flow comes from. It was not conducive to Yo Gotti, for Young Dolph to be pushing independence, okay, signing artists and teaching them the recipe, because he needs to sign them and hijack them and make them think that they're living good off of crumbs. And so now he has afforded, and a lot of people go, but it seems like he's winning. But God has to let the devil think that he is winning. He finally got the woman of his dreams, and because he wanted her for so many years when she wouldn't give him a chance, and he finally got her, and that's good, because I think Angela's a cute girl. And I looked at Reverend Ron's show. I liked Angela and them. Okay. But if Yo Gotti, sometimes God will allow you to think that you are winning, because the higher you go, the harder you fall. It would not be an issue with anybody with Yo Gotti, because this ain't no hating, and you better get that in your head. So don't send your goddamn cronies over here talking about we hating, because I'm not hating on you. I just hate what y'all did. Y'all took a young man away from his family and played God because you was jealous of him. And so oftentimes God will allow you to think that you're winning. But if you was in this, you ain't won. You just been set up for the hardest fall. And so when you start to attain all of this stuff, you look like you've attained the wealth, you made the connections that you want to make. God will allow that to happen. Okay. So that if you were involved in Young Dolph's assassination, you got to know that your brother and them ain't gonna be the only ones to go down this time. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. But if you was involved in this, you got to know that God is coming back around to get you. Okay. And regardless to how many vloggers you pay, it just, because we know a lot of them are bottom feeders, because the feds know a lot of these they know every vlogger that's on the payroll. Okay. Even some of these ones that these folks would never believe, and they be sitting over there looking at them and talking about justice for Young Dolph. But even them cannot stop the truth from coming out, because all they can do is get on here and spew out lies and try and save your image. But if you were involved, if Gotti was involved in doing this to Young Dolph, and it don't look good to me, then he got to know that it's coming back around. And how can somebody take the breath or be a part of somebody like Young Dolph losing their life and then feel like they're living life to the fullest? That's evil on a whole nother level. So, he get with Angela, and she helps to introduce him into another level, because her uncle and dad and them are really, really mainstream. Yo Gotti wasn't really that. Okay. And he sit up and talk about, I don't want to hear no excuses. Well, if another independent little artist, look at what they trying to do to Key Glock. You sending folks out to try and destroy Key Glock because he's independent. Key Glock young enough to be your motherfucking child, you fuck nigga. It wasn't good enough to take Dolph out and ruin the lives of those that are in jail and that's getting ready to go. You want to destroy his whole legacy. But you saying get your money. It's out here. Don't hate. But God says, when I get you back, Yo Gotti, you're going to see me get them back. And that's one you can't put a hit on. You can't put a hit on God. All them connections and that voodoo and shit y'all doing with Gotti and them secrets, y'all can't put no hit on God, because he is still the Almighty. And I think it's a damn shame that people will do anything for money and fame. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Because number one, he sold it, but in the end, he gonna lose it. Because when God circle back around, that's it for him. But I just see evilness on a whole nother level to sit up and smirk and have send your people out to sit up and troll young Dolph. Look at how he has put a battery in Black youngsters' back. Black youngster came from a family that I know believed in God. Black youngster has gotten himself caught up in something that he did not even have to be in, but it came from the puppet master himself, and that was Gotti. Okay. So I was thinking about that, and I had to put that into the atmosphere because I get so sick of people thinking that they have won, but that's what they want the regular people to think, so they can go, well, oh hell, maybe being evil is the route to go. Maybe the only way I'm gonna get it is to lie, steal, and cheat and kill. But that ain't it though. It's not. That's not the route. And I don't think a lot of these young dudes know that people like Gotti is ruining. He's helping to destroy a generation. Okay, he's helping to destroy a generation. I often watch uh Glorilla, and I'm willing to bet Glorilla don't own nothing. She is his meal ticket. And in the end, I hope that she does not end up bitter. I hope that she gets some people around her to help her make good financial decisions. Okay, because God is going to circle back around for Gotti. And it won't be just for Dolph. It'll probably be for some most stuff that he thought he got away with. Because God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. And ain't now vlogger that they paid, ain't now hitter that they could try and pay that's stupid enough to get out and do their dirty work with the feds watching their asses. Ain't now record company, nothing can be able to save them. No connections. Because one thing about people, when they realize how the folks on your ass, they start scattering out. When they realize that they can't bribe nobody, they ain't really got nobody that's got their back in government, they will scatter out and cut you off. And I'm sure that Yo Gotti knows that if he was involved in the assassination of young Dolph, that his karma has to come back at his door. But some people are so evil that they go, well, I don't give a damn. At least he dead. I ain't got to see him flaws. It's my time. That's how evil people are. But God says, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. But anyways, y'all, that's what I wanted to get on here and talk about. I had to talk about that because he's sitting up talking about get out here and get it. I mean, if an independent artist, if Key Glock was to take his label and start signing a lot of artists in the southern region right now and start teaching them independence like Dolph taught him, if Daddy-O started signing more people, but especially if Key Glock started doing it, they would try to assassinate him because Yo Gotti and Mob Ties feels like that the southern region is theirs and God is going to dismantle that. He gonna bust it up because you ain't gonna be able to continuously do evil, especially with God's people, and get away with it. And y'all messed up when y'all did that to young Dolph, allegedly. Okay, now vlogger that you pay, you better because we sending them charges out. So they're gonna have to determine if they constantly they want that motherfucking money or they want them charges that we putting on them. Because we're not taking no harassments, and we're not gonna, not over here. We're not. They hacking and everything, and that's being dealt with. Tell them to keep hacking. Keep getting them networking engineers to keep hacking. We know the vloggers that's on the payroll. We're just gonna keep filing charges on them. We're gonna see who's gonna get them out of jail. Okay. And to you stupid fuck ass vloggers, you better know that he knows who's watching him. He ain't coming to get you. He gonna be too scared to send them little niggas out to get you. Okay. So tread lightly, okay? Because God says when I get them back, you're gonna see me get them back. Okay. But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I want you guys to know that I appreciate you so, so much. Okay. I appreciate you. I want you guys to have a very happy new year. And regardless to what your God has said, stop hating and all that, realize the power that you have on the inside of you. And you ain't got to do what your God and them did to get to where you are other than hard work. And I don't know how much hard work that they did. Okay. But just know all it takes is faith, persistency, and hard work. Persistency, consistency, and hard work. But you definitely got to have God first, not Satan. Okay, because when you sell your soul to Satan, you build in a sand house. And so that scripture that when I get them back, you're gonna see me get them back refers to those people. Okay. But if you do it right, it may take a little longer. Okay. But you're building a solid foundation. I know, he was going around saying before, we the last one standing. The feds got on his ass. He don't say that no more because that was the subliminal that he was putting out in the atmosphere to pre. We the last one standing. Oh, okay. We're gonna see if he's gonna be standing in the end when all these indictments come down. We're gonna see that. Okay. We're gonna see if they're gonna miss him. Hopefully they won't hit his camp. Because I don't know who's gonna be indicted. I just know a whole lot more of them coming. So maybe they'll miss his camp. Okay. But God says, when I get them back, you're gonna see me get them back. Anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, you can definitely do that. Okay. I love you guys. Talk with you later.